Join us as we honor the stars, visionaries, and icons who passed between March 16th and 31st, 2022 in the United States. Catherine Hayes. She was born in July 1934 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 87 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American actress best known for her 38-year run on the soap opera as The World Turns. She played the role of Kim Hughes from 1972 until the show's finale in 2010. Hayes also appeared in the original Star Trek series. Mary D. She was born in October 1936 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 85 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. A prominent Chicago television personality and anchor for WGN television. She was also a philanthropist and victims' rights advocate. In 1971, she survived a brutal kidnapping and shooting, which led to her lifelong work supporting crime victims. Barbara Morrison. She was born in September 1949 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 72 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cardiovascular disease. An acclaimed American jazz and blues vocalist, she was a fixture in the Los Angeles music scene, known for her powerful multi-octave voice. Morris performed with legends like Dizzy Gillespie and Ray Charles and was a dedicated music educator. LaShun Pace. She was born in September 1961 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 60 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was organ failure. A Grammy-nominated American gospel singer who gained fame as a member of the family group The Anointed Pace Sisters. She was also a successful solo artist, best known for her hit song, I Know I've Been Changed. Paul Herman. He was born in March 1946 and he died in March 2022. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American character actor known for his roles in major gangster films and television shows. He played Peter Bainzy Gaeta in The Sopranos. His notable film credits include Goodfellas, Casino, Once Upon a Time in America, and The Irishman. Bobby Weinstein. He was born in July 1939 and he died in March 2022. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American songwriter who was a key figure of the Brill Building era. Alongside his writing partner, Teddy Randazzo, he co-wrote numerous hits. His most famous songs include Going Out of My Head and It's Gonna Take a Miracle. Jeff Carson. He was born in December 1963 and he died in March 2022. His age was 58 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was a heart attack. An American country music singer who rose to fame in the 1990s. He had several chart-topping hits, including the number one, Not Your Love, and The Car, which won an Academy of Country Music Award. After his music career, he became a police officer in Franklin, Tennessee. Marvin J. Chomsky. He was born in May 1929 and he died in March 2022. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An Emmy-winning American director known for his work on some of television's most acclaimed miniseries. He directed episodes of the groundbreaking 1977 miniseries Roots. He also won Emmys for directing Holocaust, Attica, and Inside the Third Reich. John Clayton. He was born in May 1954 and he died in March 2022. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A pioneering and award-winning NFL journalist for the ESPN, known as the Professor, he was one of the industry's most respected insiders, breaking news and providing deep analysis. Clayton was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame's Writers' Wing. Keaton Pierce. He was born in October 1990 and he died in March 2022. His age was 31 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was acute pancreatitis. An American musician who was a lead singer for the post-hardcore band Too Close to Touch. The band won the Best New Artist Award at 2016 Alternative Press Music Awards. Pierce was known for his dynamic vocal range and emotive lyrics. Keith Martin. He was born in September 1966 and he died in March 2022. His age was 55 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was an acute myocardial infarction. An American R&B singer-songwriter, he was best known for his 2004 romantic ballad, Because of You, which became a massive hit, particularly in the Philippines. He had previously written songs for other R&B artists. Taylor Hawkins. He was born in February 1972 and he died in March 2022. His age was 50 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cardiovascular collapse. An American musician best known as a longtime drummer for the rock band Foo Fighters. He was known for his charismatic personality and powerful, energetic drumming style. Hawkins was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Foo Fighters in 2021. Joseph Kalkstein. He was born in January 1946 and he died in March 2022. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pancreatic cancer. An Israeli-American classical pianist and a faculty member at the Juilliard School. He was world-renowned as a pianist in the Kalkstein-Loredo-Robinson Trio. The trio performed together for 45 years, becoming one of the most celebrated chamber ensembles in the world. Pat Goss. He was born in December 1941 and he died in March 2022. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American automotive mechanic who became a beloved television personality. He hosted the Goss Garage segment on the long-running show Motor Week for 41 seasons. He dispensed practical, no-nonsense car care advice to millions of viewers. Nancy Milford. She was born in March 1938 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 84 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American author and biographer who was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize. Her 1970 book, Zelda: A Biography, was a landmark work that revived interest in Zelda Fitzgerald. She also wrote the acclaimed biography, Savage Beauty: The Life of Edna St. Vincent Millay. Madeleine Albright. She was born in May 1937 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 84 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cancer. An American diplomat who became the first female United States Secretary of State, serving from 1997 to 2001 under President Bill Clinton. A refugee from Czechoslovakia, she was known for her pin diplomacy. She was a prominent voice in foreign policy. Ted Mooney. He was born in October 1951 and he died in March 2022. His age was 70 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart disease. An American novelist and longtime senior editor at Art in America magazine. His 1981 debut novel, Easy Travel to Other Planets, was highly acclaimed. His work often blended high-concept sci-fi themes with literary fiction. Hugh Zelishkovsky. He was born in September 1929 and he died in March 2022. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A Russian-American writer known for his satirical and absurdist novels that skewered Soviet life. He was a prominent Soviet dissident whose works were circulated in secret. His notable books include Kangaroo and the Hand. Marina Goldovskaya. She was born in July 1941 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 80 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. A Russian-American documentary filmmaker, often called the mother of Russian documentary films. She chronicled the changes in Russia from the Soviet era to its collapse. Her work, such as A Taste of Freedom, provided a deeply personal look at Russian history. Martin Pope. He was born in August 1918 and he died in March 2022. His age was 103 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American physical chemist and professor at New York University, he was a pioneer in the field of organic electronics and molecular semiconductors. His discoveries in the 1960s laid the foundation for modern technology like OLEDs. John V. Roach. He was born in November 1938 and he died in March 2022. His age was 83 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American business executive who was a pioneer in the personal computer industry. As CEO of Tandy Corporation, he greenlit the TRS-80 computer in 1977. This machine, sold through Radio Shack, became one of the first mass-produced home computers. Sarah Sullery Goodyear. She was born in June 1953 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 68 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. A Pakistani-American author and professor of English at Yale University. Her 1989 memoir, Meatless Days, which chronicled her family's life in post-colonial Pakistan, is considered a classic of post-colonial literature. Dirk Holstead. He was born in December 1936 and he died in March 2022. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a stroke. An award-winning American photojournalist for Time magazine, he covered major events including the Vietnam War and the fall of the Berlin Wall. Holstead was also a pioneer of digital journalism, founding the Digital Journalist website. Kip Hawley. He was born in November 1953 and he died in March 2022. His age was 68 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lung cancer. An American government official who served as the administrator of the Transportation Security Administration from 2005 to 2009. He led the agency through a period of intense scrutiny. He oversaw the implementation of the liquid ban and the introduction of puffer machines. Lee Koppelman. He was born in August 1927 and he died in March 2022. His age was 94 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. An American urban planner who was one of the most powerful and influential figures in development of Long Island, New York. For nearly 40 years, he served as the executive director of the Long Island Regional Planning Board. He shaped the suburban landscape of Nassau and Suffolk counties. Lee Kelly. He was born in May 1932 and he died in March 2022. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American sculptor and a central figure in the Pacific Northwest art scene. He was known for his large-scale abstract sculptures in steel and bronze. His works are prominent public art installations throughout Oregon. Vic Fazio. He was born in October 1942 and he died in March 2022. His age was 79 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was melanoma. An American politician who served 10 terms as a Democratic United States representative from California from 1979 to 1999. He was a key member of the House Democratic leadership. Fazio was known for his work on the Appropriations Committee. Yoon Zazarian. He was born in January 1931 and he died in March 2022. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An Iranian-American businessman, investor, and philanthropist. He was an early investor and co-founder of Qualcomm, a leader in wireless technology. He was a major philanthropist, supporting educational and Jewish causes in Los Angeles. Don Young. He was born in June 1933 and he died in March 2022. His age was 88 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician who was the longest-serving Republican in the United States congressional history. He represented Alaska's at-large district for 49 years, from 1973 to 2022. Long was known for his gruff demeanor and his fierce advocacy for Alaska's interest. Edward Johnson III. He was born in June 1930 and he died in March 2022. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American billionaire businessman who was the longtime chairman and CEO of Fidelity Investments. He took over the company from his father and transformed it into a financial service giant. He popularized the mutual fund and made investing accessible to the masses. Robert D. Sess. He was born in March 1933 and he died in March 2022. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American atmospheric scientist who was a leading researcher in climate change. He was a professor at Stony Brook University. His work in the 1980s was crucial in identifying uncertainties in climate models, particularly regarding cloud feedback. James Walpole. He was born in May 1945 and he died in March 2022. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American-German demographer and a leading expert on aging, longevity, and mortality. He was the founding director of the Max Planck Institute for Demographic Research. His research showed that human life expectancy was not approaching a fixed ceiling. Richard Howard. He was born in October 1929 and he died in March 2022. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications of dementia. An American poet, literary critic, and Pulitzer Prize-winning translator. He won the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry in 1970 for Untitled Subjects. Howard was celebrated for his translations of modern French authors. Linda Garreau. She was born in January 1943 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 79 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American politician who served as a Democratic member of the North Carolina State Senate for over 13 years. She represented Fauci County. Garreau was the co-chair of the Senate Appropriations Base Committee and the Pensions, Retirement, and Aging Committee. Drew C. Gladney. He was born in November 1956 and he died in March 2022. His age was 65 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American anthropologist and professor at Pomona College. He was a leading expert on the Muslim minority groups of China. His work was highly influential in the study of Chinese ethnic identity. Joanne G. Emmons. She was born in February 1934 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 88 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American politician who served as a Republican in the Michigan legislature. She served in both the House and the Senate. She served as a majority floor leader of the Senate during the 91st legislature. Charles G. Boyd. He was born in April 1938 and he died in March 2022. His age was 83 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from lung cancer. A 4-star general in the United States Air Force and the only Vietnam-era prisoner of war to reach the 4-star rank. He was held as a prisoner of war for nearly 7 years. Boyd later served as Deputy Commander of United States European Command. Eugene E. Habiger. He was born in June 1939 and he died in March 2022. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A 4-star general in the United States Air Force, he served as the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Strategic Command from 1996 to 1998. He was responsible for the nation's strategic nuclear forces. Kenneth Hodges Jr. He was born in August 1938 and he died in March 2022. His age was 83 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was aortic aneurysm. An American politician who served as a United States Senator from Arkansas from 1977 to 1979. A Democrat, he was appointed to fill the seat of the late Senator John L. McClellan. He was also an ordained Methodist minister. Emmett C. Burns Jr. He was born in August 1940 and he died in March 2022. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician and Baptist minister, he served as a Democratic member of the Maryland House of Delegates for 20 years. Burns was a prominent civil rights activist in Baltimore County. Mish Michaels. She was born in 1968 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 53 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American television meteorologist who was a popular and well-known broadcaster in the Boston area. She worked at several major stations including WHDH and WBZ television. She was also an advocate for environmental causes. Ralph Terry. He was born in January 1936 and he died in March 2022. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a fall. An American professional baseball pitcher who played for 12 seasons, mostly with the New York Yankees. He was named the 1962 World Series MVP after pitching a complete game shutout in Game 7. Tom Young. He was born in September 1932 and he died in March 2022. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American college basketball coach, best known for leading Rutgers University to an undefeated regular season and the Final Four in 1976. He also coached at American University, Catholic University, and Old Dominion University. In 2003, the University of Maryland Athletics Hall of Fame inducted him into its ranks. Alada Webster. He was born in March 1948 and he died in March 2022. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart issues. An American professional basketball player who played one season in the American Basketball Association. He played college basketball for the St. Peter's Peacocks. Webster played in the ABA for the New York Nets and Memphis Pros during the 1971 and 1972 seasons. Harold Akin. He was born in January 1945 and he died in March 2022. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional football player and offensive tackle, he played college football at Oklahoma State University and played professionally in the American Football League for the San Diego Chargers in 1967 and 1968. Kirk Baptiste. He was born in June 1962 and he died in March 2022. His age was 59 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American track and field sprinter, he won the silver medal in the 200-meter dash at the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. He was also a two-time NCAA champion for the University of Houston. Shirley Berkovich. She was born in February 1933 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 89 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American professional baseball player in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. She played for several teams from 1949 to 1951. Berkovich was a key consultant for the 1992 film A League of Their Own. Louis Simmons. He was born in October 1947 and he died in March 2022. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A world-renowned American powerlifter and strength coach, he was the founder of the elite West Side Barbell Gyms. Simmons developed the conjugate method of training, which became highly influential in powerlifting and athletic training. In the United States powerlifting community, he was referred to as the godfather of powerlifting. Gil Stein, he was born in January 1928 and he died in March 2022. His age was 94 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart disease. An American lawyer and sports executive who served as the last president of the National Hockey League from 1992 to 1993. He oversaw the league's expansion. His tenure ended with the appointment of Gary Bettman as the first NHL commissioner. Kenny McFadden, he was born in August 1960 and he died in March 2022. His age was 61 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was kidney disease. An American New Zealander basketball player who starred at Washington State University. He moved to New Zealand, where he became a legendary player and youth coach. He was famous for mentoring future NBA star Steven Adams. Joe Williams, he was born in 1934 and he died in March 2022. His age was 88 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. An American college basketball coach, he was the head coach at Jacksonville University from 1964 to 1970, Furman University from 1970 to 1978, and Florida State University from 1978 to 1986. Joan Joyce, she was born in August 1940 and she died in March 2022. Her age was 81 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. A legendary American multi-sports athlete, considered one of the greatest softball pitchers of all time. She also played on the LPGA Golf Tour. Joyce was a long-time head softball coach at Florida Atlantic University for 28 years. Rocky King, he was born in January 1958 and he died in March 2022. His age was 64 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional wrestler and referee in Jim Crockett Promotions and World Championship Wrestling, King was loosely associated with the Dudes with Attitudes in early 1990 during their feud with the Four Horsemen. In late 1990, after Crockett was purchased and renamed World Championship Wrestling, King got a gimmick change and became Little Richard Marley, manager of Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin, the Fabulous Freebirds. Martin Hawkins, he was born in October 1968 and he died in March 2022. His age was 53 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional football player who was a defensive end in the Arena Football League for the Florida Bobcats and New Jersey Red Dogs. He played college football at the Southern Illinois University. Werner Long, he was born in September 1925 and he died in March 2022. His age was 96 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician who served in the Minnesota House of Representatives. He was a member of the Democratic Farmer Labor Party. He represented southwestern Minnesota for nearly 30 years. Bill Sylvester, he was born in August 1928 and he died in March 2022. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American football player and coach and college athletics administrator. He served as the head football coach at Butler University in Indianapolis, Indiana from 1970 to 1984. Sylvester was also the athletic director at Butler from 1975 to 1989. Brent Petrus, he was born in March 1975 and he died in March 2022. His age was 46 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was epilepsy. An American professional football quarterback who played 2 seasons in the Arena Football League with the New York Dragons and Grand Rapids Rampage. He played college football and basketball at the University of Cincinnati. If these lives touched your heart, please like this video, share your feelings in the comments, and subscribe to Obituarypedia to remember more icons together.